presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Black Horse. We are Ohio.
It's April, which means it's still early in the marathon that is a baseball season. But oh, what a matchup we have here at Progressive Field tonight. The Astros, one of the up-and-coming teams in baseball, leading the AL West. A team hungry to replace the Indians atop the American League come October. But the Tribe is starting to find their groove, and the defending American League champs close out April with a 6-game homestand that starts next on Sports Time Ohio. Tonight's Indians-Astros game is brought to you by Hankook Tire. And it is a spectacular evening in downtown Cleveland as the Indians return home, fresh off a road trip in which they won 5 out of 6. They welcome in the Western Division leading Houston Astros for a big matchup. Carlos Correa, you talk about scuffling. He has 1 hit in his last 23 at-bats. Meanwhile, anybody happier to be home than Frankie? Francisco Lindor, a career .341 average here at Progressive Field. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Arch, when you look at Houston, it's a club that, in some ways, similar to Cleveland. They built around a very strong nucleus of young players. And then in the offseason, they went out and added some real veteran presence with Carlos Beltran, Brian McCann, and others.
And they lengthened their lineup up. And this is a tough lineup to pitch to. Beltran turning 40 years old yesterday. He's been in the hunt, and McCann, good left-handed power for them, and he's coming from behind the plate in the catcher's position. And this guy, he's just a hit machine, Jose Altuve. He's off to a very good start. But when you look at this lineup, you look at the young players that haven't even really started hitting yet. George Springer, he's got a little hamstring problem. He's not starting tonight. Carlos Correa, you know he's going to hit. And Alex Bregman, the fine third baseman, this guy's a good hitter, and he will come around sooner or later as well.
Well, Josh Tomlin looks like he's starting to come around. His last start against Minnesota was very good, and Terry Francona is hopeful that that's the direction Tomlin will continue to head down.
Well, Josh has to remember he's got to stay on the outside part of the plate or the out and inside edges. Keep it out of the middle of the plate, change speeds, keep him off balance. He's coming off a win, and so hopefully he'll come back and get on track again, and his offense can get him some runs because he's matched up against their number one. Dallas Keuchel is off to a great start, 3-0. He's got that low little two-seam fastball, a changeup. He'll throw the curveball both backdoor and on the inside part of the plate. This guy's back to his Cy Young form, so it's going to be a tough matchup for the Indians tonight.
Indians have fared well against the Astros here in Cleveland since Houston joined the American League. They've won 11 of the 15 matchups. We'll be back with tonight's play-by-play coming up, but first we'll check in with Alan Jensen in the studio, and we'll hear from Andre on the field, all straight ahead. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by Nature Stone, the only concrete solution.
Opening up a 6-game homestand for the Tribe, 3-game series between these two clubs. And we welcome you back to our set here in center field, along with Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski. And Jensen, when you look around Major League Baseball, you look over at the National League West and you see the Colorado Rockies, who are definitely a big story. 14-6 to start the year.
I'm sure everybody had them winning the West, but what's been key for them? How about they just came off a sweep of San Francisco for the first time at home since 2002. I graduated high school that year. It's been that long.
It's been that recent?
These guys have been pitching well. We know the offense is loaded, and they got a lot of confidence going into this season.
They sure do. So much for everybody's pick of the Dodgers or the Giants coming out of the West.
Giants,
might still happen.
Giants are already 7 games behind.
Amazing.
Crazy.
And then Madison Bumgarner. Ooh, that's not good.
Not good.
San Francisco. All right, let's send it upstairs now for the call of tonight's game with the Astros and Indians. Here are Matt Underwood, Rick Manning, and Andre Knott. Guys?
What was your class rank in that charm school?
You know what? Let me double check. I don't want to put any fake news out there.
He was in the top 300, I think.
All right, thanks, guys. What a day, what an evening as the Indians and Astros get ready to lock horns here tonight. And I think it's appropriate with the National Football League's annual draft coming up in just a few days. You know those teams are going to be looking to build the way all teams do. You want to be strong up the middle. And with more on that, let's go downstairs to our Andre Knott.
Well, Matt, you hit on it. To be strong in any league, in any game, you got to be strong up the middle. And these two American League strong teams feel like they're the strongest up the middle. When you talk about Jason Kipnis as well as Lindor, Francisco Lindor, as he just whizzed something by my face. You talk about two of the best young players in the league, and in tossing to Jason Kipnis, he realizes that he looks at the Astros as a team that competes and compares to the Indians. And here tonight's Hear Right sounds of the game.
For me and Frankie, we're trying to be the best up the middle. That's what we strive for. It's what we're shooting for, and that's what we work for. That being said, they are outstanding up the middle themselves, so you can't take away anything from them. If you look around, if you're ever comparing yourself to, it's usually against your own position. So, of course, I measure up to Altuve and all these other guys. And, frankly, he's been setting the bar the last couple of years with how good he's been. And I give him all the credit in the world because he's had to work for it with his size. And to be able to do stuff that he's doing, it's nothing short of just the hard work that he's put in.
Well, no question about it. When you look at the Indians and Astros, two of the best teams in baseball when you look at the shortstop second base combination.
They always had good young talent. They just went out this offseason. They added some veterans in there to help lengthen that lineup. They signed the good ones, and so far it's working out. But yeah, you're expecting to hear big things from them this year.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Houston here this evening. It is brought to you by Hankook Tires. Josh Reddick will lead it off, followed by Carlos Beltran. Jose Altuve is in the 3-hole. Then it's Carlos Correa. Brian McCann batting in the 5 spot. Alex Bregman 6th. Yuli Gurriel is 7th. And Evan Gattis bats 8th. Nori Aoki will hit 9th.
Tonight's Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher for the Tribe, Josh Tomlin. He'll be making his 4th start this year. He got a win in his last start at Minnesota. They got him a few runs early. He was able to go out, pitch 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs allowed, but left leading that ball game 9-3. Ended up getting his first win this year. And you know, it's only going to be his 2nd appearance ever against the Houston Astros. The other time he's pitched 1 inning and only allowed 1 hit, coming out of the bullpen, and he had a strikeout. So that is it. They don't know much about him. We'll see if Josh can keep the ball on the edges and change speeds. Let's set the defense behind him, brought to you by Ram. It'll be Brantley in left field, Jackson in center, Geyers over in right, Ramirez at 3rd, Lindor is at short, Kipnis at 2nd, Santana at 1st, and Gomes is doing the catching.
Lance Barrett will call the balls and strikes. Stu Sherwater at 1st. Jim Reynolds will be the crew chief at 2nd base, and Brian Knight down at 3rd. Josh Tomlin ready to go. And the first pitch to Josh Reddick is over the outside corner for a called strike.
Another addition here is Reddick to this team.
Cutter over the outside corner, and it's quickly 0-2. High with a fastball.
Remember Reddick with the Oakland A's and ended up going to the Dodgers. They acquired him via trade last year. Didn't pan out for him there.
He golfs this one in the air to right, and Brandon Guyer will make the catch for out number 1.
Batting second for the Astros, the left fielder, number 15,
Carlos Beltran, switch hitter. One of the key veterans added in the offseason. There was certainly a lot of talk last year that perhaps the Indians might try and acquire Beltran. But one of the hangups, it seemed to be, at least the story all season long went, is that he couldn't play the outfield anymore. That he was strictly limited to DH duties. But he's in there tonight in left field. With the shift on, Francisco Lindor makes the play, and there are 2 down here in the first. Storylines are courtesy of Wayside Furniture. The infields are on display, and Dallas Keuchel trying to get back to his Cy Young form, and so far so good for that left-hander. Jose Altuve batting .324, a couple of home runs.
Altuve, though, since April 11th, he and his teammate Yuli Gurriel, man, they've been the 2 hottest hitters in all of baseball.
1 ball, 1 strike.
This is a guy that's he's never met a pitch he didn't like, or he has an unbelievable knack of getting the barrel to the ball no matter where it is located.
Nice big overhand curve, and he drops it in there for a strike to get ahead. 1-2. Pushed him back with that fastball.
Good pitch, effective pitch. That's what Tomlin has to do, is use that inside part of the plate.
Swung on and missed. He struck him out with a fastball away, and that'll end the inning. The Astros go 1-2-3. The Indians are coming to bat. Is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Carlos Santana once again in the leadoff spot. Francisco Lindor bats second. Michael Brantley will hit third. Then it's Edwin Encarnacion, Jose Ramirez, and Jason Kipnis. Guyer, Gomes, Jackson rounded out. So you've got 7 right-handed bats. Terry Francona said, I want to keep a couple of lefties in there to just make Keuchel have to work a little bit to a different angle.
And our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher, Dallas Keuchel, 4 starts, all of at least 7 innings. has allowed no more than 1 run in any one of those starts. Off to a very good start this year. They talk about that little 2-seamer he has. He can his breaking ball has been much better. He can throw it to both sides of the plate, and then he mixes in a very good changeup as well.
Off the end of the bat, but the third baseman Bregman cuts it off. 1 away.
And let's set that Astro defense for you, brought to you by Wendy's. In the outfield, it'll be Carlos Beltran in left, Josh Reddick in center, Nori Aoki is over and right, Alex Bregman at third, Carlos Correa is at short, Jose Altuve at second, Yuli Gurriel is at first, Brian McCann behind the plate. And their defense better be on their toes because Keuchel is a ground ball machine. Second in the AL and ground ball outs now with 50.
Francisco Lindor looks at a pitch outside for ball 1. Lindor, very similar from both sides of the dish.
There's that backdoor breaking ball on the outside part. Now you get him sitting out there. He can throw that changeup out there. He can come back foot slider.
Two balls and 2 strikes. The thing with Keuchel, from what we've seen so far this year, he really works away. And you would think that he would come in more every once in a while just to get a hitter locked up. But he just continues, and he's got such good command that he'll either pepper that outside corner or he'll throw the 2-seamer that runs off the outside corner.
That's the key word, command.
Or he'll change up on you, and it's just low. Ball 4. Good at bat for Francisco Lindor, and the Indians have a 1-out base runner.
Well, that's his 7th walk, and he has 22 strikeouts in his 28 innings of work. But left-handed batters just 1 for 16 off him. And he can field his position very well. 3-time Gold Glove Award winner. He's already saved 3 defensive runs this year, fielding his position.
Michael Brantley teeing off, but fouls it back. Brantley has collected a hit in 8 in a row. And while at times we've seen Terry run a, maybe an all right-handed hitting lineup out there against the lefty, he said with a guy like Keuchel, you don't want to let him get into just a rhythm facing an all right-handed hitting lineup. Bouncer to Altuve. He goes to Correa for 1 on to first. It's an inning-ending double play. No score after 1. Correa going to lead it off for the Astros. 70 degrees at game time. Clear skies, really just absolutely ideal. Especially considering the frigid road trip that they just came off of. Nice to get home. Tomlin misses inside, and it's 2-0. Pop down the right side, slicing, and that will get out of play. Tomlin working a 1-2-3 first inning. Nice trying to come back against Carlos Correa, the 2-1. Just did catch the outside corner. And Rick, we're seeing right out of the gate here, both of these pitchers seem to have pretty good command as far as looking for a spot in the strike zone and attacking it.
Well, I'll tell you, if it missed, it didn't miss by much, and they worked quickly. That was a better pitch than the one he just called. He must have called that one. He must have called that one low, but that had the plate. That was a better pitch than the one that was called a strike.
The payoff.
Same spot.
Got him looking.
Stay out there.
Carlos Correa has words with Lance Barrett, but you know he called it before.
Right. Well, that's it. He called it, so he calls it. One was a slider. This one was a fastball away. And you know, a lot of times those umpires that sit on the inside, they're guessing away a little bit, and this might be a half a ball width off the plate, but he called it the last time. He called it that time, and the one that was on the plate, he called the ball.
McCann with a worm burner to first that Santana gobbles up, 2 down. Today's Indians Astros game is being broadcast on American Forces Network, broadcasting to the United States Armed Forces serving around the world on land and on ships at sea. So welcome in.
Yes, indeed. Welcome, everybody.
2 down here in the second. Alex Bregman. And Tomlin continues to nail the outside part of the plate. Gets ahead, strike 1. Big curveball in there for a strike. It's rare, Rick, that you have a lefty and a righty who pitch so similarly, at least in the way they approach the game and attack hitters.
Yeah, they do. They hit their spots. They're not flamethrowers by any means. It goes to show you that pitchers, if they can command the baseball and they can change speeds, they can easily win at this level. And they're both very similar. They both field their position very well. They do a nice job of holding the base runners on. So when healthy, these guys, they certainly know how to pitch. And it's fun to watch because they're not blowing hitters away.
2-strike pitch. Right back to Tomlin. You talked about fielding his position. One of the best in the business. 6 up, 6 down through 2 for Tomlin. No score.
getting after it.
Home half of the second, Edwin Encarnacion to lead it off for the Tribe. And off-speed pitch misses outside. Dallas Keuchel.
Boy, these hitters, they're going to have to make an adjustment if that stays a strike like that all night for both sides.
Dallas Keuchel was born in Oklahoma. Went to school at Arkansas, where the Astros made him a 7th round pick in '09. 3 years later, he was in the big leagues. Was not an instant success his first year in the big leagues. Some growing pains, a 3-8 mark with an ERA of over 5. But slowly but surely, he turned things around. 2 years ago, he was 20-8 with a .248 earned run average. Strike called on a full count.
His fastball down and away in a 3-1 count. That's what every pitcher should have in his back pocket anytime he gets ahead of, or falls behind a hitter, is that pitch right there where you can nail the outside corner down and away.
Jose Ramirez waits on deck. Jason Kipnis due up third. And Encarnacion just kind of waved at it. So one down here in the second, and we'll go down to Andre Knott.
You know, Matt, you talked to Terry Francona earlier tonight about Dallas Keuchel, and he's talked about that fastball away and the movement. And talking and listening to A.J. Hinch, he thinks it's the breaking ball that sets Keuchel apart from any other pitcher. He feels like he can backdoor it, he can use it, he can front foot it, he can do anything he wants with that breaking ball. And with his fastball command, he says the tandem makes it very, very hard to hit him, and that's why he's so successful.
Now, I think it's almost like splitting hairs. When you really boil it down, it comes back to the command. When you can locate and get ahead like he does, then he's got a lot of different ways you can go, whether it's the changeup, you know, the off-speed pitch to both sides of the plate.
Can expand the zone for the hitters when you're ahead in the count. You're going to have to take what he gives you, and if he's hitting that outside corner, you're going to have to take your base hits the other way. You try to pull him. That's why he's so successful on ground balls. Look at that, 70% ground balls so far this season. League average is just 45.5. That's unbelievable. So the infielders are on their toes.
And what you're seeing right here is what Terry Francona talked about before the game. You have to, as a hitter, any way you can, make him bring the ball up. If you chase that pitch down, you're going to beat it into the ground all day long. He got one up that time, and Ramirez fouls it back, full count. And I think that's what Tito was saying. If you work the count, maybe eventually he'll miss up in the strike zone with a pitch, and then you've got at least a fighting chance.
Well, and when you get a pitch like that, you can't foul it off.
He goes back down, and Ramirez
That's the way to
slices it. Fair ball in the corner. He's on his way to second, and he'll go in sliding with a 1-out double.
Watch how that kid does it right there. I mean, you can't script an at-bat any better. You stayed away, but he had to earn it, and he shot it down the line. Watch how deep he lets that track. That was a good pitch. Watch how low it is. Keuchel, that might not even have been a strike, but that ball he sliced away. It just stays fair into the corner. He's going to get his fourth double. What a beautiful at-bat right there by Jose. Well, he had to work for it.
Yeah.
He had to work hard for it, but he certainly did.
So Ramirez stays on a roll, and now up comes Jason Kipnis. And a first pitch strike.
You know, this Houston team, they have allowed 22 homers as a team, but 17 of those 22 have been solo shots.
Right back up the middle. And Karams to Altuve, pulled him off the bag, and he's safe at first.
Yes, he did. He ran through it, and he missed the tag.
No argument from Gurriel, so I don't think we're going to get any kind of a challenge.
The ball was not hit hard or shot sharply, but Altuve does it, makes the throw on the run, throws underhand, but pulls him off at first base. You see the footwork, and he tried to tag him as Kipnis goes by, and he's going to miss him. You know, normally he's a third baseman. He's playing first base, and he did miss him completely, so that'll be an error.
Do you think a seasoned first baseman tries to stretch by keeping a foot on the bag there?
I would say yes.
But he
maybe
wants
the
to make
footwork.
when you're not experienced, you want to catch the ball first.
Yeah, I saw that back foot come up off the bag. Hard to tell how far off the bag that throw was. That was really a routine play for Altuve.
Brandon Guyer with a chance to give the Indians an early lead. And a double play ball will get Keuchel and the Astros out of the inning. That is his specialty. He's already induced 2 in 2 innings. No score as we head to the third. Tonight to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. Bottom third of the order due up for Houston here in the third. Yuli Gurriel will lead off. And a foul right back.
You heard me talk about Altuve since April 11th. This guy's been better. He's been the best in baseball with a .469 average. 15 for 32 with a homer and 5 ribbies. And that's a pretty good bat hitting in the 7th spot in your order.
Gurriel is not a kid by any means at 32, long considered the best player in Cuba. Down low. Many scouts thought that he would never leave Cuba. But once he and his brother left and established a residency outside of Cuba, you can imagine the kind of frenzy that was kicked up. Everybody wanted a shot.
Josh with 4 full counts already.
Back out of play.
And he's making them work very hard.
More or less, they play him straight up on both the infield and the outfield. And a 3-2 again is lined, and that's going to be a base hit. And that's going to split the outfielders. And he'll go into second base with a leadoff double after a terrific at bat to start the inning.
Yeah, his 5th double on the season. Good at bat by Gurriel against Tomlin. Maybe a little fastball away, a little cut fastball. He stayed on it nicely and drilled it into the gap. So you can see why he's been hot. Fouled off about 2 or 3 pitches when he got to 2 strikes till he got something he could handle and gets the base hit. The difference is that's a leadoff double where the Indians had a 1-out double in the bottom half of that second inning.
Well, you got big Evan Gattis, dangerous hitter at the bottom of the lineup, hitting 8th. And Tomlin goes at him with the first pitch strike. Houston kind of weird splits early in the year. With less than 2 out, they're only batting .228 with runners in scoring position. But with 2 outs, they're hitting .344, so their overall average is inflated up to .280 with runners in scoring position. But it's the tough hits that they're coming by.
Well, that's great. You go through that as a team, and you never give in. You extend those innings sometimes. Those are the back-breaking hits to either a pitcher or a team when you can get the big 2-out base hit.
Popped him up. Coming over, Geyer. Does he have room? In the foul ground. He can't come up with it.
He was a step short.
He was reaching for the ball and probably in the side, looking out of the corner of his eye for that sidewall.
Yeah, and you're running into it, and you can see there's still some sun out there with this 6 o'clock start. Not that it's affecting his vision there, but he was getting awfully close to the stands. You have to put on the brakes. A lot of times you'll see a guy go down and slide on that turf, but that's all that is like a padded.
It's rubber down there, and you go down on that, you're going to stick on it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to
That's
slide.
why you don't slide. So he was about a half a step short of getting there.
So a new life for Gattis. And the 1-2 is a breaking ball and got him looking. Gattis was locked up. 3rd strikeout for Josh Tomlin.
Comes back with the big slow curveball, which you like. Man, it really takes him off that cutter, the fastball, and you can see the break. It started about eye high to Gattis, and it just drops into the zone, and he knew it. You got to take a walk back. Great pitch.
Great second look at it. The number 9 hitter, Nori Aoki. He's off to a great start. Aoki batting .325.
You can see he's just crouched. He's got to be tough to pitch to. And he's one of those guys, he'll be on the run when he swings. So you may want to see the infield cheat in a little bit on ground balls.
He blips it over the head of Ramirez. Charging is Brantley. He'll come up with it, and the runner has to hold there. Gurriel, no chance to score.
But there's your your base hit with a runner in scoring position, but a short little swing. And he took him the other way.
Stepping in now for the Astros.
So first and third. Now watch, they want to go inside. He didn't get it there. That one stayed more middle than he wanted it. And he just fights it off and goes the other way. Hits a nice line drive, gets on top of it. Over the head of Ramirez at third. Now they have runners at the corners, and Tomlin's going to be looking for his own double play ball here.
3 ground ball outs. First time through the order. Astros go 2 for 9. Josh Reddick, fly to right, his first time up. And that was a pitch that was down. He went down and popped it up. Be interesting to watch Tomlin approach this at bat with Reddick. One of the things that Terry Francona said before the game tonight is that Josh has had a tendency to try to muscle up and throw with his fastball, with try to get more velocity on it. But he said the problem is, in doing so, he loses movement on it, and sometimes that's when the cutter will flatten out on him, and that's when he's been hurt. He's tried to express to Josh, don't worry about what the radar gun says.
Well, that's so true. You get into situations like this, sometimes the slower the better.
One ball, one strike. And that didn't miss by much, but it's outside, and now Tomlin falls behind 2-1. No score, third inning. Houston threatening. Lindor shading Reddick right up the middle. Pops it up right to Lindor. 2 down.
Wow, he went way back in after the 2 pitches were away and jammed him. Get him to pop it up to the infield. Good pitch. Watch the location. You see where Gomes is sitting in there, and he really made him. If he's going to hit that ball, you've got to pull those hands in and hit it. He just couldn't get the barrel of the bat out in front and just popped it up. So now an opportunity to get out of this situation with 2 outs. Something Josh has struggled with this year. 2 outs. Opposition hitting .524. They were 11-21 coming into today's game. So a big out here for him right now.
Downstairs. A little low, 2-0.
Bad job so far this year in this situation with 2 outs, runners in scoring position.
Beltran just turned 40 years old yesterday, and maybe because of that, it wasn't as bitter a pill to swallow for the Rangers when he left in the offseason and signed with their division rivals across state. Or would that be downstate? I guess that'd be downstate, huh?
Yes. Well, So far, though, Houston playing well within their division, 10-3. And that's where last year, in the couple of years past, Texas, the Rangers dominated the Astros in, you know, divisional play and head-to-head situations. So that's where they really took advantage of the division last year. That's what Houston has to turn around. And so far, so good.
2 down, runners at the corners. Tomlin's 2-1 pitch. And it's 3-1. So Beltran being very patient. First time up, he was aggressive, nobody on base. This time, RBI situation, a little more selective. Well, when Springer gets back to full strength, and if Beltran has enough left in the tank, you can see why people who are in the business of trying to pick what's going to happen during the season like the Astros with this lineup.
I agree. Absolutely. It's a tough one to pitch to.
Aoki is off. Strike 3 called. Beltran is rung up to end the inning. Tomlin strikes out a pair. He's fanned 4 through 3 scoreless.
Tablet. Stay connected with radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download the #1 app for live baseball. That's MLB.com at bat.
Home half of the third, and Yan Gomes will lead off for Cleveland. First ball swinging. And a bouncer to third and an easy out. And that's not something you want to do against Dallas Keuchel, because nobody has had any success when they've gone after that first pitch against him. And that goes all the way back to the All-Star break a year ago. Hitters, when trying to put the first pitch in play, came into tonight 2 for 28 against him. So not many try, and when they do, they don't.
Well, he's making quality first pitch strikes too. That's what it tells me.
No, just get me over fastballs.
No, that is correct.
There's Austin Jackson. Yeah, at the knees, outside corner, you can book it. That's where he's going.
Well,
most times to get ahead.
In that situation, if you're Austin Jackson, you got to take a strike if the first hitter goes out and makes it out on that first pitch. You can't give this guy.
Swings at the next pitch and drives it deep right center field. Goodbye. Austin Jackson puts the Indians on top with his first home run of the year, and only the third allowed by Dallas Keuchel.
I'll tell you what, he hit that ball a long way. That was a good swing.
There's a cricket, something to smile about.
Well, that is right there. He left that ball middle in, and Jackson going the other way with it. And it gets over it bounces on top of that bullpen roof out there and goes into the seats in one swing. And the Indians have a homer. That's the 18th solo home run given up by Houston this year, and the 23rd.
Chopped to third, scooped up nicely by Bregman. And Santana retired 2 away. Our great clip from Sunday. There weren't many highlights from that ball game, but this was one of them. Francisco Lindor going deep. His 5th home run of the year. He's tied for the team lead with Jose Ramirez in home runs. And he delivers a pitch over the outside corner for strike 1. You know, you just gotten the words out of your mouth that, well, he can't swing at the first pitch after that guy just made it out on the first pitch, and boom, he jumped on the second one.
Sure did.
It only took 7 pitches for Keuchel to retire the side, but somewhere in between, Austin Jackson gave the Indians a 1-0 lead. To the home run by Austin Jackson. Wow, look at that hair. That's impressive. Is that Yuli? Is that Yuli Gurriel? Altuve threw the bat at it. Kipnis flags it down, throws him out. 1 down. Let's go down to Andre Knott.
You know, after Josh Tomlin's last performance in Minnesota, when talking to him about why things work for him, he says, I start using the edges. He goes, if I'm not on the edges, I'm going to have problems. I have to stay on the black on the outside. I have to stay on the black on the inside. He goes, and once I saw that the ball was going there, I relaxed, and the game became easy.
Well, he's hitting the edges this evening, I can tell you that so far to this point. He's given up 2 hits. He worked his way out of last inning.
Carlos Correa called out on strikes. His first time up, he waited back nicely on that breaking ball. And a 1-out single for the Astros cleanup man. Just his second hit in his last 25 at bats.
Well, you see that one had plate. You see where that was located. That pretty much middle of the plate. And they stayed back, and he didn't miss it. And gets a base hit. The third hit now for Houston.
And up comes Brian McCann. This guy used to be a hitter who used the entire field, but he went to New York and became a dead pull hitter.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the way the Indians play him on the infield.
It's a ground ball. Double play candidate. Grounded into 4 this year so far. But you need him to hit it at one of your guys so they can turn it.
Missed inside. Missed outside. 2-1. Diving stop by Ramirez, flips it to Lindor. 1 on the first, not quite.
Boy, oh boy, that would have been an unbelievable turn.
Great action in the middle of the diamond as Ramirez somehow got to it and then had the presence of mind to flip it to Lindor to get the force, and then Frankie nearly turned the double play.
Well, he steals a base hit, and then he realized, hey, I still might have a chance. If the throw's on line, they may have had him. But he tried to get a little too much on that throw. But what a nice play. The range on Ramirez is unbelievable. He can go right, he can go left. He makes diving plays all over the place. But he was playing like a shortstop there. And steals a hit from McCann to get the force out.
And so with 2 down, Alex Bregman to the plate. Not surprising that you see good defense behind Josh Tomlin. The force ends the inning. Middle of inning 4, Indians 1, Houston 0. To you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk, and a couple of injuries from around the majors. Pablo Sandoval.
Already, huh?
It's kind of disappointing for him in Boston because, he worked so hard to get the weight down.
Yes, he did. Shelby Miller out in Arizona. He pitched against us, and he was throwing a ball well mid to high 90s. They don't want to lose him.
Michael Brantley banged into a double play his first time up. And he takes in for a strike.
Well, you can see what the Indians are trying to do here. They're trying to get after Keuchel early in the at bat. They don't want him to get to 2 strikes where he can start expanding your zone.
Hit it off the end of the bat. And a 1-hopper to Correa. Out number 1. Edwin Encarnacion will be headed to the plate. Struck out his first time up. That's the only strikeout so far tonight for Dallas Keuchel.
Right now, the Indians, all right, they have 10, 11, 12 batters. 9 have gone down on 3 pitches or less. So that goes to show you what they're trying to do. Stay aggressive.
There's a smash right at Bregman. Hit it hard.
Well, nothing you can do about it. That's a good at bat. You hit it right on the nose. You can't guide it. He smoked it, and it was right into the tracks of Alex Bregman right there. You'll see. Good shot at you. He didn't have to move. Just hopped and stayed put, almost like a catcher.
Yeah.
Stayed in his crouch and made the play and says, thank you. That's what, hit it hard. That's where I'm playing you.
And so 2 down for Jose Ramirez, who slashed a double just inside the chalk down the right field line. His first time up. I mentioned with Josh Tomlin, you expect to see good defense behind him when he pitches, much like you do with Keuchel.
Right.
Even though they did have the 1 error by Altuve, because both these guys are pepper in the strike zone tonight.
They're mirror images of each other. One's left-handed, the other's right-handed, like you said earlier.
But the fielders, you better be ready because neither pitcher is fooling around. It's another 7-pitch inning for Keuchel. It remains 1-0 Cleveland through 4. Brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by Cleveland Clinic, Express Care online. Download it now for free. Wow, it's a spectacular evening here at the Yard. Josh Tomlin, first pitch strike.
Well, yeah, we were talking about these two pitchers. Keuchel throwing 71% strikes. Tomlin 69%. So I mean, they're going at it, pitch for pitch.
38 out of 56 for Josh Tomlin have been strikes. Now Gurriel had a good at bat his first time up, worked the count full, and then laced a double up the alley in left center. But he was stranded at third.
Yeah, after falling off a couple with the 3-2 count.
Gurriel started playing for the Cuban national team when he was 17 years old. Strike is called, full count.
You may want to hold on to that bat for a little while. That's been a strike all night.
Roped foul. Look out, folks.
I'd like to send out some belated birthday wishes. We just received it today. Donald Waltman of Lorraine turning 97 a little while back, and also Helen Yanchak turning 93 a little earlier in April. Happy birthday to you both.
And the 3-2 in the hole, and a base hit for Gurriel. He's 2 for 2. Go check in with Andre Knott.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. Now look, the weather's beautiful tonight. It's gonna be beautiful tomorrow. I don't know how crazy I look, but it's a cool hat. It's AL Champs hat, right? Check it out. You want one? All you have to do is go to Indians.com, and if you purchase a Friday or Saturday upper box or upper reserve seats, you can have this same lid that I have on for when it gets chilly outside.
And you get to keep that, don't you?
Well, you know, I try to not mess up my good hair, so I'm definitely keeping this one.
Well, you get it, and it's 80 degrees outside.
I'm bringing you two.
Ground ball up the middle. Ramirez with another great stop, but he can't get it out of his glove, and they're both safe. Excuse me, Lindor that time. Forgot they were last time they had that shift on, but that was a terrific stop, but he just couldn't get out of his glove.
Yeah, it sort of got caught in the webbing, I believe. He had time to flip it, but watch how it gets caught. Kipnis is there, and it just never got out of the glove. It hit the end of the webbing. Great stop. Couldn't get the flip out, so it'll go as an infield single. You see him smother it, and just could not get the flip away. Good try, good effort, back-to-back singles.
Well, the Astros have something brewing now here in the 5th as Nori Aoki steps in. Now Aoki, he just dumped one into shallow left his first time up. Ramirez looking for a bunt, so is Santana. They both pinch in at the corners, and Aoki takes a strike, and the Astros dugout is screaming at home plate umpire Lance Barrett.
Well, this is a guy that can put the bat on the ball and put it in play. You may want to let him just try and slap it the other way. I'm sure he's going to be tough to double up. He got a hit in his last at bat, and Tomlin just didn't get it inside enough, and he took it the other way. So if you go in there now, you got to go in off the plate.
Aoki in the hole, 0-2. Tried to get him to maybe chase one up high. Nothing doing. Gurriel, the runner at second. Tying run. Evan Gattis down at first. And it's back to even at 2-2. Slapped it foul.
That's what he's a slap and run guy. He's out of that box, and it seems like when he swings. Take a look from the side. That front foot goes down, and there he is. He's moving out of the box. This Astro team, they've been hot. Won 4 of the last 5, 9 of their last 11. 3 comeback wins from deficits of 4 runs or more in their first 19 games. So these guys, they can score late as well.
2-2. Slow hook. Chop foul. Josh Tomlin trying to protect a 1-0 lead here in the 5th. And the 2-2. Slap foul the other way.
Yeah, just trying to foul it off and live for another pitch, which he does nicely. Rolled over on the slow curveball the pitch before that, and just hung in there and slaps that one foul. So a tough guy to strike out.
Again, he just slaps it.
He's only struck out 4 times out of 40 at bats coming into today. And you can see he's just a tough guy to put away. Gomes wants to go out and talk to Tomlin now and say, what do you want to do here? He's hitting everything we throw.
Well, you've got Josh Tomlin, who hasn't exactly gotten a lot of swings and misses so far this year. I mean, he has 1 swing and miss strikeout tonight, but coming in, he had the 2nd lowest swing and miss percentage among starters this year. But what he wouldn't give to see Aoki spin himself into the ground 1 time right here. Roped deep over Geyer's head and off the wall. Coming around 3rd, Gurriel will be waved home. The Astros tie the game. And down to 3rd goes Gaddis on the RBI double by Aoki. And 3 straight hits to start the 5th for Houston has tied the game.
Boy, and I don't know if he got this ball. It was down and in, so obviously he didn't get it in enough. And that ball was hammered over the head of Brandon Geyer and hit the base of the wall. See him take those hands, and he just fouled off a couple of good pitches till he got something to his liking. And then Aoki gets the double, drives in a run, ties the game, and sets up the inning. 2nd and 3rd, still nobody out.
Now the bottom 3rd of the order doing it for Houston, accounting for 5 of their 6 hits so far tonight. Now the top of the order, Josh Reddick 0 for 2. Infield drawn in for Cleveland, though not do or die all the way in.
No, you have Gaddis on 3rd base, so you know you can play a little deeper with him, because if it's hit at you, you can still make the throw home. If it's hit hard enough.
Base hit left field. Gaddis will score, and here comes Aoki. He'll try to score 2. Brantley's throw is cut off. Ramirez down to 2nd, wildly in the center field. Nobody home at 3rd, but Ramirez quickly dances over there, and Reddick stays at 2nd base. So it's now 3-1 Astros, 4 straight hits to open this 5th inning. A 2-run single for Reddick.
Yeah, he just stays on the baseball, elevated a little bit, and Lindor was playing more up the middle. You can see the shortstop was vacated, and they were going to challenge the arm of Michael Brantley. That ball was sailing, and it was a good cut there by Ramirez, but the throw to second wasn't very good. So Reddick will drive in the pair. He'll go to second on the throw.
Now Carlos Beltran 0 for 2. And it's in the dirt, ball 1. Bullpen gets busy for Cleveland. Tomlin, 50 out of 75 pitches have been strikes, but the Astros really making him pay here in the 5th. 2 singles, a double, another single, and 3 runs home for Houston, and now Beltran shoots it out of play. Curveball's in there. He gets ahead 1-2. And he strikes him out. 5th K for Tomlin. 1 down on the inning. And that's the important thing right now, is that as disappointing as this inning has been, to try and keep it at 3 runs. You've still got a manageable deficit down 2. But if you let the Astros have a really big inning, then the way Keuchel has pitched with their bullpen, that could put it out of reach in a hurry.
Yeah, you don't want him to get more than that. The way Keuchel's throwing, he's had back-to-back 7-pitch innings. So I think imperative you hold it right here.
Jose Altuve is 0 for 2 tonight. Good pitch, called a ball. Altuve struck out in the 1st, grounded out in the 4th. Swung on and missed. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick since 2014. Here's your hit leaders.
Yeah, there's really good hitters right there. We don't get to see Blackmon enough because he's with the Rockies, but we'll see him this year for 4 games.
The 1-1 chop foul. It's not easy to get 200 hits.
No, that's the ultimate goal, I think, as a hitter in baseball. A 200 hit season, when you can get 3 consecutive, that's something special.
Now the 1-2. Got him looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tomlin here in the 5th inning. And there are 2 down.
Big out left to get. Let's see that cutter on the front door, man, coming in. Front side, he gave up on it. He thought that ball was going to go the other way and be a 2-seamer in. It was not. It was the cutter in there. And he locked up a really good hitter that usually puts the bat on the ball.
Carlos Correa looks, it's away, ball 1. High pop. Center field. Jackson is there. Inning over. But Houston roughs them up. They score 3. Lead it 3-1 halfway through. HOU as the Indians continue this series against the Astros tomorrow night. Trevor Bauer, Lance McCullers the matchup. Our coverage begins with Indians live at 5:30. First pitch at 6. Right here on the home of the Indians, Sports Time Ohio, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Dallas Keuchel in a groove. Each of the last 2 innings, he's made 7 pitches, and now 20 of his last 21 pitches have been strikes.
And he was throwing 71% strikes, so that's impressive.
A bit outside, 1-1. Jason Kipnis reached on an error his first time up.
See if the Indians have a response.
With Michael Brantley coming back from the shoulder injury and the surgery and everything that transpired a year ago, a much different situation than the one with Jason Kipnis and working him back into the line. Tito said they'll pretty much work off of Kipnis and how he's feeling day to day with regards to how they use him. 2-2. With Brantley, it was a more stringent, all right, we're going to do this, then we're going to do this. You know,
yeah, he had hurdles along the way that he had to pass before he could continue to go and improve and play on a more consistent basis.
3-2 pitch. Kipnis hits it high in the air, deep center. Reddick back. He's out of room. It's out of here. Oh, no, my goodness, he caught it. Oh, Reddick robbed him right at the wall.
He sure did.
Oh my, what a play by the Astros center fielder. Even Keuchel is stunned.
Yeah, look at, he's putting that's a great time. I thought that ball was going to hit above that yellow line. He took it back. He snatched it back. No doubt about it. What a great play. Well timed, and look at, he flips it up. And that would have been the response the Indians were looking for, but he's taking a run away. And look at Kip. I can't believe it. He thought he had number 1, but no, that goes as an out. Great play.
And here's Brandon Guyer.
Tell you what, I usually see Reddick in right field.
I was just going to say, I don't
George
remember
Springer's out. He's the center fielder.
I don't remember him playing center.
No, but that was well timed.
Think about his time in Oakland.
Always in right field.
Yeah.
Well, you got a little more room to roam out there. The thing of it is, watch the time of the jump. He gets back there. He doesn't pin himself against the wall. He had it timed perfectly, and that ball was, I thought, just out of reach, but no siree. Yeah, that's worth a high five. Saved him a run.
Yan Gomes grounded out his first time up. A little high, 1-1. Since the home run by Jackson, Keuchel has not a lot of base runner, even though he came within mere inches of giving up another home run. But that's kind of the way he's been pitching tonight. It's been quick and it's been efficient.
Yes, that's the way he's been pitching all year. 7 innings in every single one of his starts, which has been 4 to this point. And he has not allowed more than 1 run in any start. So this is a typical Keuchel performance, what they're getting to see from him early in the year. He's 3-0 in 5 career starts against the Indians. Change of pace right there. Gets him back to a full count.
And now Yan Gomes sends a high drive deep to right. Aoki back onto the track, pulls it down. Some loud outs here in the 5th. And Jason Kipnis came that close to getting the Indians a run closer. And they're seeing a pretty good ball game. Our T-Mobile Unlimited baseball break. Adam Jones last night, a perfect night at the dish. 1,500 career hits now. And the Orioles have gotten off to the best start in baseball. And these Astros are a half game behind them. That's how good they've been. Brian McCann will lead off here in the 6th for Houston. Josh Tomlin, a first pitch strike. McCann 0 for 2. Has grounded out twice.
You know, you talk about good starts. I think more people are shocked that the Orioles are where they're at with the injuries and things like that than they are about this team here. It's like an old school game, like Ferguson Jenkins against Randy Jones, where they're getting the ball, they're grabbing it, they're throwing strikes, and you have hitters swinging. Let's go.
Jake Westbrook, Mark Burley.
Yeah, right.
Quick, to the point. Now the 1-2. Hit high, deep to center. Back is Austin Jackson and pulls it down right on the front edge of the track. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. It was Austin Jackson who gave the Indians a 1-0 lead with his home run in the third. But back came the Astros. 3 straight hits to open the 5th. Nori Aoki driving in the first. And then Josh Reddick put the Astros ahead with a 2-run single. And then Reddick made the ridiculous catch to rob Kipnis of a home run and keep the Astros in front by 2. Alex Bregman looks at a curveball for a strike. He's 0 for 2 on the night. Upstairs with it, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hit hard in the hole and a base hit for Bregman. And a 1-out single will bring up Yuli Gurriel.
The batter for the Astros.
There's that little cutter. Stayed up, stayed middle. You see where Gomes' glove is? That ball wasn't down enough, and he gets enough of it to hit it through the hole. It's bottom part of the lineup that did the damage last inning. Starting with this guy right here.
At the knees on the outside corner for a strike. I mentioned before that Yuli Gurriel was no kid when he defected from Cuba. Played 15 years before he came to the U.S. after defecting, and even with that, the Astros coughed up $47.5 million, a 5-year contract. But they believe that he is a big piece to their puzzle this year. Upstairs. Now it's been the bottom part of the order, and I don't know how long Gurriel will bat in the bottom of this order if he keeps hitting like this.
Well, he's got a very, you can tell he's seeing the ball well, which is the way he takes and pitches. He's fouled off some good ones, and he hits the ones that have too much of the plate.
Boone Logan now ready in the Tribe bullpen. Almost chased, did not, and it's 3-1. It's going to be foul. Didn't stay out in front of the plate. Gurriel made his debut last year with the Astros, and you know, 2 years ago when A.J. Hinch took over, he guided Houston to the postseason. First time in 10 years they'd been in postseason play. And last year, you know, they were in wild card contention right to the very end.
Yeah, their slow start is bothering them last year. I want to see if he starts the runner here. He should, figuring Gurriel's going to put it in play.
Right to Lindor, but it whipped right by him.
That ball was hit so hard and fooled Lindor.
Bregman in the third will stop there.
That was a double play ball, and Frankie caught it. But I'm telling you, I don't even know if he saw it the way he went after it. That ball was smoked on the line. They did start the runner, so if he catches it, double play. But watch how he goes about it. He didn't know if he had to jump. I think he lost it off the bat, to be honest with you. I don't know if it got.
Looked like it was by him.
Well, and it also, he may have lost it in a shirt in the stands. I'm not sure, but that ball was hit.
They're going to take a hit away from him and give Lindor an error.
Whew. I'll tell you what, that's a tough call. I don't know. That ball was hammered.
As you say, you could tell on the replay it was by him.
He did not see that ball somehow. Let's just watch it for real speed to see what it's worth. Watch how long. You know, right there it tells you he didn't see it. I'll tell you what, I'd be surprised if that's not changed and it goes as a hit. But that, wow.
If he catches it, it's a double play and the inning's over.
Yes.
And as it is, the Astros are in business now, up 3-1. First and third, one out. Evan Gattis is the batter.
Andre, if you can get anything down there when he comes in, I'm curious to hear.
Curveball. That's what he struck him out with back in the third inning. Starts him off with that pitch here in the sixth. Logan if needed. Tomlin, you see, right at 100 pitches.
This is his last hitter. So maybe he can get that ground ball double play and get out of the inning.
To Ramirez. He'll go to second. There's one. Kipnis on to first. Double play ends the inning. Oh, Josh Tomlin needed to make a big pitch, and boy, did he ever. Ramirez and company turn two. 3-1 Astros, middle of the sixth.
Was on him, he didn't see it, or he would have caught it. I have to say that's got to be a base hit.
Agree.
I know our boy from Florida, Popper, he chimed in and said he thought it was a base hit too. Nice to hear him, or hear from him.
Does that mean he sprung for
the package? Yeah, no, he's out on the beach somewhere.
He's walking around with rat antennas on his head.
Yeah, antennas, and he's got the coin finder out in the sand, and yeah, he's got his black socks and his sandals on, watching the Tribe game.
Austin Jackson, the only run of this game, an opposite field homer back in the third for Cleveland. Now he's trying to get one past Gurriel at first, but cannot do it. One down.
Well, there's still time to get a prorated 2017 Tribe season ticket package. You'll get the best seats at the best prices with the best perks, including access to the summer season ticket, autograph party, and much more. Visit Indians.com for the details.
By the way, we were talking earlier about Jose Altuve and how difficult it is to get 200 hits. You know, he's done it, what would we say, three years in a row now?
Yeah. And
Ichiro's got, he did it, what, 10 times? He did it 10 times.
Yeah. Exactly.
In a row.
That was like, I think Pete Rose did it 9 in a row.
It's ridiculous.
I know.
All right, so I got to thinking. I remember Michael Brantley had 200 hits a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I know you remember the last Indians player to get 200 hits in back-to-back seasons. He's actually here tonight. Carlos Baerga.
Oh, I didn't see him. I didn't know he was here. He's always here, though, isn't he?
Who was the last Indian before Baerga to get 200 hits in back-to-back seasons?
Oh, wow. Gosh, you got to go back a ways, I would think. I mean, a long ways. A long way.
Dale Mitchell, 1948, 1949.
Okay, yeah. That's how difficult it is. 200 hits is not easy.
Yeah. And to think, man, it's impressive. Santana draws a one-out walk, and the Indians will bring the tying run to the plate, and it's Francisco Lindor.
First base runner since the home run he allowed back in the third.
Hey, the Tribe Report presented by GMC with Alan Jensen comes your way after Indians Live tonight. Highlights from the past week. Rick goes one-on-one with Frankie Lindor. GMC Plays of the Week. It's all coming up tonight after Indians Live. What did you learn that you didn't know about Lindor after you talked to him?
Nothing. He's a great kid. Loves to play the game of baseball. I mean, he has fun playing the game.
That's not how you tease an interview. You got to.
Yeah. You'll have
Nothing.
to see it.
I didn't learn a thing.
Well,
Boom.
I mean, not a thing. I know he was a good kid and he enjoys playing the game.
Man, Keuchel, every time he's needed a double play ball, he has gotten it. 3 in all tonight through 6. 3-1 Astros. the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And by the new 2017 Kia Optima. Well, as we roll on to the 7th inning, the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made. Terry Francona goes to Boone Logan. Josh Tomlin went 6, allowed 3 runs on 9 hits, did not walk a batter, struck out 6. Boone Logan on to face, you would assume, Nori Aoki and Josh Reddick, both left-handed hitters, and then we'll see what he does with the switch hitting Carlos Beltran.
Absolutely. You can see this is his 10th appearance. You can see just over 3 innings.
Aoki lifts one to left, and Brantley runs it down over the shoulder style. 1 pitch, 1 out.
The batter now for Houston, center fielder Josh Reddick.
I could see Logan stand on for all 3 hitters. Beltran, I think, more power from the left side.
Okay, put him over to the right side. Let's see what he's doing. 269, a little better average from the right side this year, 26 at bats. We'll see what Tito plans to do.
Josh Reddick, he is the supporting actor in tonight's drama for the Astros. Dallas Keuchel has to be the guy front and center. He's given up 1 run in every start so far, but Reddick saved his bacon with a big catch over the wall, robbing Josh Tomlin of a homer, and he delivered a 2-run single that put him ahead in the 5th.
Give him the lead. Yeah, he's been front and center is right. This takes a home run away and a response run that the Indians were trying to get back on the board. He takes a homer away. Kipnis can't believe it.
Fouled away. 2-1. Took a little something off, and Reddick way out in front of it. 2-2.
Didn't chase that one. It goes to a full count.
Got him. Nice pitching by Boone Logan. You got Aoki on 1 pitch, strikes out Reddick, and he will stay on to face Beltran.
Yeah, this is the emergency hack right there. He was fooled. I think he was looking away, and he saw that pitch coming in, so he just tried to foul it off. Not a very good swing. And Logan puts him down for out number 2.
Beltran 0 for 3 tonight, has struck out twice. Boy, as nice as it is here in Cleveland tonight, that rain that you got this morning on the east side, it went all the way over to the East Coast. Philly, Boston, New York, all rained out tonight.
No kidding. Already called, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like it'll stay there for a while then. This has really been a decent April, I think.
All things considered,
yeah,
I have to agree with that.
I mean, seriously, even though it was a little chilly on the last road trip, we did get a rain out in Minnesota, but still.
High pop. Out goes Kip. He's there. Makes the catch. Boone Logan breezes through the 7th. Stretch time in Cleveland. 3-1 Astros. 7th coming up. Dallas Keuchel's made 65 pitches through 6 innings. 3 different times they've turned a double play behind him. And now defensively, Nori Aoki goes from right field over to left. And Teoscar Hernandez comes into the ball game in right field. Well, let's see what Michael Brantley can do. He's 0 for 2 on the night.
Well, Keuchel has been brilliant tonight. 30 pitches the first time through the lineup, 28 the second. But you just mentioned those double plays. They're the ones that get you out of innings. 15 outs on 3 pitches or less tonight.
Brantley shoots one left field, slicing into the seats on a play.
Let's take a look. The first, the second, and the 6th. Michael rolled over on one. It was a 4-6-3. Then it's going to be a ground ball to short, a 6-4-3 for Geyer, and then Lindor gets one too. Rolls over on it, 6-4-3. And he is making quick work out there. Only allowed 2 hits to the Indians tonight. Both extra base hits. And Kipnis, of course, was robbed of the home run. But there you go. There's his ground ball percentage this year, by far and away the best. And you can see why. Now maybe you can understand that stat a little bit better when you watch a pitch.
I think that number's gone up tonight.
Yeah, he's
swung on and missed. He has just his 2nd strikeout of the game.
Stepping in now for the Indians.
Well, he's back, I'll tell you that. There's a breaking ball, and you see that one going away, 80 miles per hour, and it's off the plate. It's so good, and you can see how much it breaks, but it ends up a ball, but it looks like a strike all the way. You start swinging at it, and then it just takes off. So that's an excellent pitch. That's the one pitch, as Andre said earlier, that's made the huge difference this year, that curveball.
Of the 19 outs he has in the game, 2 strikeouts, 3 balls in the air. Everything else via the ground ball.
And I mean, Encarnacion hit a line drive at third base. There's been a few balls hit hard, but not many. He keeps the barrel of the bat off the ball, and that's exactly what he has to do.
Now the 1-1.
If he can get 2 more outs here in this inning, that'll be the 5th straight start that he has gone at least 7 innings and not allowed more than 1.
Mr. Math back there says 74% of his outs have come by the ground ball tonight.
Okay.
Two-1. Almost. Did he go? They appeal. He did not. 3-1 to count. As dominant as Keuchel has been, as overpowering at times as he has been, the Indians are, as the saying goes, a bloop and a blast away. Still just a 2-run deficit. Ball 4. So much for the bloop. We'll take a walk as well. Now Jose Ramirez coming to the plate.
Well, Tribe 6-packs are on sale now and include a new Thursday afternoon option. You can take the afternoon off and head to the ballpark for some of this summer's biggest games. Just go to Indians.com for the tickets. Now you got to keep the ball off the ground here in this situation when you finally get a base runner, or if you hit it on the ground, you want to find a hole.
Ramirez shoots one right field. Hernandez just into the game, makes the catch near the line. 2 down. And that will bring up Jason Kipnis.
Hitting now for the Indians, number 22, Jason.
Who almost made it a one-run game his last time up. But Josh Reddick, the center fielder, robbed him of a home run. Up and away, ball one. That did catch the corner.
Yeah, perfect pitch outside corner.
Inside. Oh my goodness. They said he went around on that.
Well, it was inside. It didn't look like it from the naked eye. I didn't think so, but see McCann back there saying, hey, he went, but
okay.
Ryan Knight at third agreed with him.
Well, he's in the hole now, 1-2. And now they punch him out. Third strikeout for Keuchel. We head to the 8th. 3-1 Astros. Authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Eighth inning, and the Astros are on top, 3-1. Tribe goes back to the bullpen after Boone Logan worked a perfect 7th. Nick Goody will come on and work the 8th. Let's go down to Andre Knott.
Thanks, Matt. You know, talking about Nick Goody, he was one of the guys in spring training that the Indians talked to with amongst the relievers and saying, hey, you could be up or down throughout the season. But Terry Francona has grown to like him a little bit. He compared him a little bit to Jeff Manship. He's a matchup guy against the right-handed batter. Say that 3 times fast. With his off-speed pitches, they feel like he can get a lot of righties out because of that curved slider that he has, and it's worked well for him so far.
Now right-handers are 0 for 11 against him. And he's got back-to-back right-handed hitters and 2 really good ones here in the 8th. Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa. And and Goody misses high ball 1.
You know, you look at Altuve and you can see where he stands in that box. He looks like he's off the plate. That front foot slightly open, but he can cover that outside part of the plate. Doesn't look like he could get out there if he throw some darts.
High 3-0. Not a guy you want to walk either. He has 7 stolen bases already this year, yet to be caught.
7 of the 12 that Houston has. So this guy, you're right. You put him on, could be a double in a hurry.
Jason Kipnis told Andre before the game Altuve has set the bar high for second baseman. And he draws a leadoff walk. I mean, you get to 200 hits a year, and that is setting the bar high for everybody else that plays.
First of all, you're playing most of the games that your team is playing in, and you're getting a lot of hits in those games. You know, you play 162 to get 200. I mean, so you're averaging well over a hit a game.
Carlos Correa 1 for 3 on the night.
And you know how it is now, the way they shift on people and how they do things to take hits away from a lot of people. They pretty much know how to defend you a lot better, in hopes that it takes away hits. So you have to use the whole field. You can't be just a pull hitter, I don't think, anymore, and get 200 hits.
Popped up, maybe playable. Let's see. Can Santana get to it? No. Well, you think about Michael Brantley, who got 200 hits, uses the whole field.
Right.
Think about Ichiro. He spray it all over the place.
Absolutely. And guys back in the day, Wade Boggs used to do it. Rod Carew used to do it. Guys that use the whole field, that, you know, stay on the baseball. Tony Gwynn. You know what the amazing thing of it is Ted Williams never in 1 year had 200 hits. Because he would walk so much because of his eye at the plate.
I'm glad you brought that up, as Correa singes one into left, and Brantley does a great job to keep it from going to the wall, and that keeps the double play in order, though Altuve goes all the way to third base. So first and third, nobody out.
This is another ball that's hit right on the nose, and Brantley, what a job. That's elevated. That stayed middle in, and he turned on it. And watch, he has to cut it off or Altuve scores, and it'd be a double for Correa. But he made a nice play to keep it in a double play intact, cut off and save a run for right now.
Brian McCann 0 for 3. McCann grounded out each of his first 2 times up, then flied out the center in the 6th. Dan Otero now getting loose. Threw it by him. Nice job by Goody. Gets ahead in the count, 1-2. He needs a strikeout or a pop-up right on the infield.
Yeah, he could certainly use one, no question. And then get a double play ball.
McCann sends it back to the screen, and it stays 1-2. Alex Cora spent part of his career here.
Yeah, he said, get off. I want you to have a bigger lead over there so you can get to second base.
Oh,
Yes.
he swung and missed at a ball in the dirt, and Nick Goody gets a huge strikeout.
Yeah, I mean, and he didn't even have to throw a strike to get it. He was able to get McCann to chase that pitch. And the key, get ahead. And then he buries that slider in the dirt and gets him to swing over the top of him. Nice sequence there. And now a ground ball can get you out of the inning and keep it a 3-1 game. That was a big out and a nice sequence there by Goody.
Alex Bregman 1 for 3 on the night. Swing and a miss. Double play ball. Lindor to Kipnis. On to Santana. Oh, Nick Goody pulls the rabbit out of the hat. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Tribes still down 3-1.
Items you want this season by purchasing a promo pass. It's for an additional $5. You'll receive your item no matter what time you arrive at the ballpark. If you're interested, go to Indians.com for all the details.
Well, Brandon Geyer will lead off for the Indians here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tribes down to their last 6 outs.
Yeah.
Dallas Keuchel's made 80 pitches. 48 of them have been strikes.
Well, as they said, it's getting late early right now with Keuchel on the mound.
The lights are on, but there's still plenty of daylight out here.
But no one's home.
0-2 on Geyer.
Yeah, Keuchel is he's been terrific tonight. Everything has been crisp. That fastball, the breaking ball, his changeups. Their approach has been get after him early. He had back-to-back 7-pitch innings.
Struck him out looking, and Geyer doesn't like the call. One down. Let's take another look, see what you think.
That's the fastball, and he's going inside to straighten up the right-handers. Hard to tell from that angle, but it wasn't that bad of a pitch, and he's been around the dish all day long.
Yan Gomes 0 for 2 is grounded out, flied out. Broke his bat. And it's a collision. Altuve is down. He looks like he's hurt.
He might have closed.
Hernandez came in from right. Altuve went out. Neither player gave ground. They collided, and Gomes is aboard with 1 out in the 8th.
Well, obviously nobody could call for that ball, and as an infielder you go out, and it looked like he clotheslined him. And I think the outfielder probably could have caught it, but it was just one of those plays where you just never know until it happens, and let's hope they are okay.
Hernandez appears he might be hurt worse than Altuve. Altuve's at least showing signs of trying to get to his feet. Hernandez is really writhing in pain on the ground. So the Houston training staff doing double duty as they attend to both players. And that's one of those collisions, as Rick told you, it's hard for either player to really call for the ball because it's right in no man's land.
Yeah, you know, it's a really tough play for Altuve, the second baseman. He's running with his back to the infield, and Hernandez coming in, who was just a replacement last inning. And we're going to see what happens. You see, he can't, he's going out until he hears something.
Oh,
and there it is. He gets, it looks like he got clotheslined, man. He got smoked in the head. And Hernandez, I don't know if it was his knee or what he hit if they collided. Let's take another look. Boy, oh boy, that's scary right there. That is really scary. They're both still down.
Yeah.
Right there, Keuchel's concern is, you know, about his players, not about giving up that base hit. Are they down around his knee area? They may have banged knees too.
Teoscar Hernandez. It looks like they're looking at his knee.
Yeah, they may have hit legs as well, and it looked like Altuve got it in the face.
Although now he seems to be working lower and around the calf area.
There's one getting up.
Altuve is to his feet.
Look at him. His neck, yeah.
As you say, I mean, that's like whiplash. You run.
That's scary.
You said clothesline, but he got hit so he stopped. I mean, his body.
Do you see how he was going straight out looking up? So he wasn't looking at the fielder coming in, and the fielder coming in wasn't looking at Altuve coming out. And that is the scariest part of it. And, you know, you have a few balls like that throughout the course of the year. And
I don't think Hernandez is going to be able to continue.
I would agree.
A lot of pain here.
Yeah, he was a defensive replacement for Beltran, and Aoki moved to left field. So
he can't put any pressure on it.
At least Altuve is he coming out too? He may be.
You know,
that's like getting sucker punched.
Well,
right
Rick,
there.
the concussion protocol in all pro sports now is so very stringent that I think just by the very nature of the collision, I would think he might have to come out of the game just to get him checked out for that. And I think they're going to need a cart for Teoscar Hernandez. I don't think he can get off the field without some assistance. So they're going to bring on a medical cart to have him removed, and that's a shame for that young man.
Yeah, he's in pain. There's no question, and it looks like it's in the knee area.
Yeah, the other question is for the Astros is They've got Marwin Gonzalez on the bench still. And
looks like Altuve wants to stay in the game. I'm telling you.
Marisnick and Springer, who's listed as day-to-day with a hamstring, they don't have many guys left. Oh, Marisnick was placed on the DL. Oh, that's right. Teoscar Hernandez took Marisnick's spot on the roster.
Okay, the left leg right there. You can see him hobbling. Oh boy, that's a shame. And it looks like Altuve's walking off the field now too.
That means Springer's going to have to play, I would think.
Well,
you're looking at the roster that I didn't get the updated roster, so I still had Marisnick on mine. But Marwin Gonzalez and George Springer would be the only two guys left now.
Well, then that's what's going to have to happen. Because Springer was day-to-day with a hammy. He had a string of what, 205
There's
games.
George
Here comes Springer coming out to play right field.
And Marwin Gonzalez will go on the infield.
Yeah. Wow, that's well, Keuchel's got to go out and start throwing and get loose. That's putting a cramp in his style as fast as he's been working. But that collision, boy, oh boy, that was scary.
Teoscar Hernandez headed off for further evaluation.
Once again, Altuve running with his back to the infield. Hernandez coming in. And I mean, that looks bad right from the start. And you can see where Hernandez is wincing his left knee, or his leg is in pain. And Altuve just got hammered in the face or the jaw.
Right into his chest, into the arm.
Right there at the elbow. And came up and his head went flying. So yeah, they're going to have to check him out after the game and make sure, for you, as you say, the concussion test, no question.
Not only that, but just your neck, there's a lot that's going to have to be checked out.
That jaw and seeing what his neck is. He'll be a lot sore tomorrow. There's Springer. He's officially going to be there, and there's Gonzalez.
So Springer's in right.
Entering the game and now playing in right field.
Yeah.
Number 4, George Springer.
So Springer goes to right field.
And playing second base. Number 9,
And Marwin Gonzalez is at second base. So Yan Gomes is aboard with 1 out, tying run to the plate. Austin Jackson. In off the plate, ball 1.
Well, the Indians are on the board because of Austin Jackson's first at bat in the 3rd inning with 1 out. Shot one out of here to right field.
Now the 1-0. Jackson that time takes, and it's called a strike to even the count. Austin lifted a home run to right center field in the 3rd. It gave Cleveland a 1-0 lead at the time. Since that home run, the Indians have had 2 base runners. A walk in the 6th to Santana, a walk to Encarnacion in the 7th, and now the bloop single here in the 8th. Harmless fly ball to center field, 2 down. Miller time brought to you by Miller Lite. Josh Reddick, his 2-run single gave the Astros the 3-1 lead. And then his robbery kept Jason Kipnis from a home run, and that would have made it a 1-run game. The Astros just now getting action in their bullpen as Keuchel closes in on 90 pitches for the night. And it's outside, ball 1. Santana twice has grounded out to 3rd base. He walked back in the 6th. think the Indians would have to really threaten for A.J. Hinch to make a move the way Keuchel has pitched tonight.
Yes, right now, yes. Because he gets the ball, the ground ball. You don't worry about him getting a fly ball. That one that Jackson just hit, there's only been, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 in the air all day. Keep it on the ground. The tying run's at the dish.
A low strike is called. It's 3-1. Santana right off the glove of Keuchel. This might work out. The throw to first. Safe. And the tying run is aboard in the 8th. On a ball that ricocheted off of Keuchel's glove. Game effort by Bregman, who fired it over, and it was bang, bang at first, but Santana just beat it out.
Well, and this is a Gold Glover on the mound, so this ball was hit hard enough. It just didn't stick into the glove. As it ricochets, he was hustling over there, but Santana just does beat it out at first base. That'll be another hit, so the tying runs are on base. You can see him really that extra stride to beat it out. It was close, but well, now the Indians with a little bit of life with 2 outs, so they're going to have to do it with 2 outs.
Francisco Lindor has been to the plate 3 times tonight. He walked in the first. Last 2 times he hit it on the ground. Once inducing him, or once he hit into a double play that ended that 6th inning. Keuchel gets ahead with a first pitch strike. Low and away. Broken bat liner to Bregman ends the inning. Tribe strands a pair, and we go to the 9th. 3-1 Houston.
One lead over the Tribe as we welcome you back to our set here in center field. Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski, boy, Dallas Keuchel once again another brilliant performance.
As advertised, 94 pitches. Probably expect him to start the night, but they're right there. I know we say that 2 runs may seem small, but the way he's made it hold up tonight, he's been dominant.
8 innings, 4 strikeouts. The home run to Austin Jackson is only blemish. So join us for Indians Live coming up right after the game. It's brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. For the call of the 9th, back to the booth. Here are Matt and Rick.
All right, thanks, Al. Nick Goody got the double play ball to get out of the 8th inning. Stays on to pitch the 9th. Yuli Gurriel leading off, takes a first pitch strike. He is 3 for 3 today. Double, couple of singles, and a run scored. A 1-1. Good pitch. Nice slider outside corner. 1-2. Josh Tomlin got the start. Retired the side in order in each of the first 2 innings. It was scoreless, or he pitched scoreless baseball into the 5th when the Astros jumped him for all 3 runs. And it happened quickly. 4 straight batters all got hits, and all 3 runs scored, and then he retired 3 in a row to end the inning.
That's what usually happens, you know, when you got guys like that throw strikes. They're always around the plate. It can happen quickly because they want to get ahead in the count, and it was the bottom part of the lineup that did the damage today for Houston.
Out of play. Gurriel led off the 3rd with a double. He led off that 5th with a single. And then he had a 1-out single in the 6th inning. In the air, left field, near the line. Brantley makes the catch and foul ground, 1 away. Looking back at our storylines, brought to you by Mazda. 5 double plays turned tonight. The infields have been doing it with the leather. And Dallas Keuchel continues an incredible start to the season. He's made 5 starts now. He's gone at least 7 innings in all 5. And to this point, at least, he's given up 1 run or less in all 5.
Very impressive. One of the best starts to a season for anybody over there in Houston.
Evan Gattis went around. I didn't see anybody getting loose, so I would imagine he's coming out to finish or try to finish.
It would not surprise me, to be honest with you. You're going to come out and you're going to face Brantley, who the left-hander is. And the left-handers, what do they have? 1 hit off him this year. And then you might see a right-hander come in. But I think he definitely should start the inning.
Oh, hit him.
Yeah, you could tell as soon as that ball left his hand that it was going to hit him. He got underneath it and no break to it. So the big white bear takes that one in the arm. See where he got
a breaking ball?
Yeah, that was a breaking ball. The padding there, he jumped out of the way and it caught him on the back of the arm. So Tito's going to the mound, and it looks like it's going to be Miller time.
Timeout here in Cleveland. Andrew Miller making the appearance when we come back. Astros have a man on with 1 out.
Love the fedora. Looking good. He's been able to witness a very good baseball game here. Andrew Miller coming on now for the 8th time. Trying to hold him at bay. 3-1.
And a first pitch strike. Aoki 2 for 3. He had a great at bat back in that 5th inning and ended up driving a ball off the right field wall to tie the game. He did well just to get a piece of that one. Over the last week, and there haven't been a lot of opportunities because of how well the starters have pitched, but over the last week, left-handed hitters have swung and missed at 50% of the pitches against left-handed or against anybody coming out of the Indians bullpen.
Well, this should be an especially tough at bat when you're left-handed and Miller's out there, but I'll tell you what, Aoki's doing a nice job staying alive. Had a good swing at that second fastball and has fouled off a couple of sliders. See if they try and come back and heat him up. Either that or throw one off the plate, see if they can catch him running to first.
Gomes quickly fires it down the right field line. It kicks off the sidewall, and Geyer gobbles it up, but now second and third. Miller barking that Aoki made contact with the ball outside the batter's box. And Terry Francona will come out to see if maybe somebody else had a better look at this. Home plate umpire says no, Lance Barrett. I don't think so.
I didn't see it, and the Gomes comes up. Let's watch this. And that throw is way off. He tried to underhand it like an infielder, and that thing was not even close, and it hit that guy down there with the stool, and they were able to move up a base. So that's going to be probably a base hit and an error.
Terry Francona giving Lance Barrett an earful down there. He might be doing more than anything. He might be just trying to get his own club fired up a little bit here going into their last at bat, trying to get them to keep this a 2-run deficit. Right now it's a base hit for Aoki and a throwing error on Gomes. And unless something gets overturned here, this is a big hole now for Miller to dig out of.
You know, I wanted to see that again, maybe, and see where Aoki's running down the line, if he's inside on that grass, and that should Gomes have just picked it up and drilled him in the back, or is he in that box? Because it doesn't matter if he doesn't hit it.
It's a little bit of a misconception in that you don't have to hit the runner for interference to be called, but as long as that runner has 1 foot on the line, or he's within. He can get on, you know, with 1 foot on that line. He can stay inside that baseline.
This is the one I wanted to see, where you're going down the line, where he's in. All right, so far he's good. He's good right there. He's good right there.
Yeah, I mean,
so no, that's fine. That's fine. I have no problem with that. That was just a play. He's entitled to go down that line.
Yeah.
Like that. I thought he might be on the grass.
Yeah, I wasn't sure initially where he was at because we were watching the throw.
No, and then Jan tried to throw, you know, underhand. And I mean, he was running hard to get there, so that might have been the only way he could get through it.
Base hit and a game breaker. 1 run scores. It's 4-1 Astros. 1 pitch. Josh Reddick lines it into right field, plating Evan Gattis, and Aoki goes to third.
What a day that Reddick has had. That's his third RBI. And then he also took one away from Kipnis. That's a slider down and away. Reddick kept the hands back and pulled it into right field. So that makes it 4-1. That's 11 hits now for the Astros.
George Springer gets his first at bat tonight. And takes inside ball one. Breaking ball fouled back. Swung on and missed. He threw it by him. Down on the dirt. Nice block by Gomes.
That's a play there where if you're on first base and you're Reddick, if you see that ball go in the dirt, you pretty much can run, because I don't know if they'll throw through. Only one out. Got another man at third base if he bounces one in the dirt.
Threw the bat at it. Geyer's going to make the catch. Tagging. Coming home is Aoki. Throw to the plate. He is out at the dish. A double play ends the inning. Geyer with a nice catch and throw. Gomes with a great tag. But a big insurance run for Houston comes home. And the Indians will go to their last at bat. Now down 3. Night for the Tribe. Edwin Encarnacion, Jose Ramirez also due up. Anybody reaches, Jason Kipnis will get an opportunity.
Well, yeah, now you're going to have to get at least a couple guys on base. So started out as quickly as possible. Keuchel has been on his game tonight. 10 career complete games, looking for number 11.
Strike at the knees, outside corner. Nothing new. That's been all night long for Keuchel. If there's a silver lining, even with that run the Astros scored in the top of the inning, Cleveland has outscored their opponents 21-3 in the 9th inning this year. Brantley sends a long fly ball deep right. Back is Springer. Gone. Second solo homer of the night for Cleveland. And for Michael Brantley, home run number 4 on the season. And it's now a 4-2 ball game.
Yeah, he got the curveball and stayed back on it and able to elevate it. You can see him just sit there and wait. Timed it beautifully and got it out of here. So the second solo home run of the night, only the 5th hit for the Indians, but one swing of the bat. Now they need another base runner, and then the tying run can come to the plate.
And the Houston bullpen springs into action as Brantley extends his hitting streak to 9 games. Houston's closer Ken Giles getting loose. Encarnacion takes a strike. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. Encarnacion caught in between. 1-2 to count. And a little low. 2-2. They haven't given up hope yet here at Progressive Field, as the Indians try to mount a comeback in the 9th. The 2-2 is line shallow left, coming hard, and a nice catch by Aoki for out number 1.
Stayed up there just long enough for Aoki to come in here and make a sliding catch. He started the game in right field. They made a defensive change and he moved to left, and he comes running in, sprinting in, and on the backhand side gets there in time to make the play. So that's out number 1.
And Jose Ramirez 1 for 3 tonight. He doubled back in the 2nd inning. Take a look at what Keuchel has done tonight. You want to talk about brutally efficient.
3-10 pitch, well, that's there now, but 2 10-pitch innings, 2 7-pitch innings.
Ramirez shoots it into right field, and the tying run will come to the plate.
Boy, what a nice stroke. And that's what you needed. You had to get somebody on. Now you've got an opportunity to tie the game with one swing of the bat.
You kind of get the feeling.
Change up, down and away.
A.J. Hinch won't let Dallas Keuchel lose this game. In other words, if the winning run should come to the plate, then we'll see Giles.
I'm thinking this is going to be his last hitter. Any way you look at it. And I mean, he's going to choose. Do you want Giles to face? It'll be Chisenhall who will come off the bench for the Indians if that's the case, and he goes to the bullpen.
Ramirez at first. Kipnis at the plate. Upstairs, ball 1. No. Kipnis almost hit a home run in the 5th inning, and then was called out on strikes in the 7th, and he was not happy with the call of home plate umpire Lance Barrett at that time. Outfield deep and around toward left.
going to say that Josh Reddick, remember, he took a run off the board for the Indians in a Kipnis at bat. He's driven in 3 for the Astros, so he's had a great night between he and Keuchel. Well, just another base runner would certainly help.
Swung on and missed.
Look at, he's sitting right down the middle, and that ball looked like it ran a little bit.
Oh, just a bit outside. It's 2-2.
See, he's looking in there. I think he was getting that pitch all night. It might have been a little bit off the dish. You see where the glove is, and it was. But I got to tell you, that umpire, he's done a nice job tonight. He's been consistent. But that one maybe just off the plate. Keuchel wanted it.
.110 pitches so far tonight for the left-hander. And the 2-2 to Kipnis. Struck him out. And there are 2 down on the ninth. Just the 5th strikeout tonight for Dallas Keuchel, but he tied him up, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did.
Well, A.J. Hinch, I don't know if he's going to the bullpen or if he's just going out for a chat.
Let's look. Does he want Keuchel to face Geyer here? I think that's the case. He's doing all the talking right here. He hasn't made a move yet. Or does he want to bring Giles in to face Chisenhall? Would be the hitter, so he's gonna stay with his starter.
Keuchel mouthed the words, "I'm good."
Yeah.
So I think you're right. He's probably giving him one more hitter.
And that's fine. He's earned the right to go out there and Hinch, a former catcher. Hey, he's a ground ball specialist. Sure, the Indians have scored 2 runs on home run balls, but he likes his chances here.
And this is 5th start. Keuchel's previous high was exactly 100 pitches 2 starts ago against Oakland. But this has been the kind of game where he's breezed. He's been really not in any stressful situations.
No, I see why he can leave him in. I have no problem with it.
One ball, 1 strike. Brandon Geyer banged into a double play in the 2nd. Grounded out in the 5th. Called out on strikes in the 8th. Way out in front of that changeup. Man, he can pull the string. The 1-2 in the dirt. He really will test your patience at times as a hitter. You know, are you really going to not swing at that pitch?
Right.
I'm going to throw it again just to see.
And keep it away. That's what happens when you get them down. You can expand their zones and just really, you're right. Test the patience is exactly what he's doing.
But then in the back of Brandon Geyer's mind, you don't want to get beat on a fastball either. So here we go, the 2-2 in the dirt again, and a full count.
Well, now Ramirez just makes sure he goes home. Geyer, make sure you get a strike. Easier said than done.
A.J. Hinch knows that this is the last hitter, I would think. I mean,
yeah, I would agree.
After he went out and talked to him. The crowd that is here up on their feet, and the payoff pitch. Line diving stop by Correa. Only play at first, and that'll do it. The Astros hang on for a 4-2 win as Dallas Keuchel goes the distance for the complete game victory. The Indians fall by a final score of 4-2
as Keuchel improves to 4-0 on the year. I don't think a pitcher had gone more than 7 innings against the Indians this year. So Keuchel, I mean, complete games nowadays are a rarity in general.
Oh, yes. There's only been, I think, 4 in all of baseball. Kluber has 1, and now Keuchel with 1. And he really pitched well today, boy. That was a well pitched ball game by Dallas Keuchel.
Josh Tomlin will be the tough luck loser tonight as he goes to 1-3 on the year. Astros now 14-6, and the Indians fall to 10-9. Let's take a look at our Pat O'Brien play of the game.
Well, Josh Reddick is the man of the night out on the field. He gets a base knock over here to drive in 2 and give him a lead. That made it a 3-1 game. He's going to take another one off the board and robs Jason Kipnis of a home run and throws it in. An unbelievable catch right there, and then he comes back up off Andrew Miller and gives them one more insurance run they needed on a base hit to right field. Made it a 4-1 ball game. So what an afternoon, or what an evening, I should say, for Josh Reddick.
Time of the game, 2 hours and 46 minutes. The crowd just 14,581. Well, thanks for being with us tonight. We'll be with you once again tomorrow evening for Game 2 of this 3-game series. Again, it's a 6 o'clock first pitch time. Our coverage will begin at 5:30 with Indians Live. For Rick Manning and Andre Knott, I'm Matt Underwood. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Alan Jensen are up next with Indians Live, the postgame edition.